Hi everybody, this is Sebastian. Welcome to the Unicorn Gathering, and welcome to my favorite tree. I'm in the Bunny Meadow, one of my special places that I like to come to recharge and spend special days here. And today is the full moon spring equinox, so it's a special day, and this is a special place for me, and I thought, why not broadcast from inside a tree? Yeah, this tree is so loving and my best friend, so gives me so much. So, let's get on with it. Today's video is on 5 ways to emotionally love yourself. I did a video on 5 ways to love yourself mentally. So now we're just moving down, not down, but over to the emotional body. So, very first one, number 1. This is super basic, and some of y'all are watching this and already have all of this stuff figured out. You might be pretty far along on your emotional journey in terms of your emotional maturity. But a lot of humanity is really starting out in the basics. And I know I was not too long ago. So, the first way to emotionally love yourself, and we can always get better at each of these stages and steps, the first way to emotionally love yourself is to start acknowledging that you're having emotions and feelings. Period. And I would add to that as a bonus level to accept that it's okay and good that you're having, it's okay that you're having your emotional experience. So many of us are taught as young children that it's not okay to have emotions. In fact, we might have been ridiculed for having emotions and showing emotions and sharing emotions. We might have had it sort of shown to us, or we might have been sort of weirdly mentored into, just watching our parents shut down their own emotional experiences. We might have been like, oh yeah, that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to pretend like I'm not having these emotions. So it can be, and in our society and our culture, it's not necessarily a supportive place to experience your emotions and to be okay with saying, yeah, I'm feeling sad today, or I'm feeling angry, or I'm feeling really scared right now. Like, how many times when we ask, how are you doing, someone's like, you know what, I'm really having this emotion of fear. That's not something that's super normal. Now we're opening up a little bit about sharing that, hey, I'm having an anxiety disorder, I'm anxious a lot, but it is taken a long time to even get there. So just within our own, the sun's migrating over again. Readjusting, right? Half and half. So just to acknowledge to ourselves, I'm having emotions and it's okay. And since we're always having emotions, because guess what, we're humans, it's important to check in with ourselves really frequently to ask ourselves, what emotional experience am I having? And if you're a sensitive person and if you're empathic, you can be having a lot of other people's emotional experiences and not necessarily be in touch with what experience you're having, because you can sense everyone around you, and you might been inundated with their emotional experience. So you might be more aware of what other people are feeling rather than what you're feeling, and your emotional experience might be kind of quiet and subtle. So it might take a long time to get in touch with what emotions that you're actually having from day to day. It's so important to be okay with, because it's so much a part of being a human being is about having an emotional experience. It's really, really okay to be angry. It's really, really, really okay to feel sad. It's really, really okay to feel like you're in a state of grief. It's okay to feel scared. It's okay to feel anxious. We don't have to like that we're feeling that way. It's painful. A lot of emotions are very painful, but to really just to accept I am having an emotional experience. Oh my gosh. Oh, you didn't see this little spider. Oh. A spider is a nice one. Some spiders I would not let crawl on me, but this is a good one. He's my friend. Well, I don't know if he's a he. I think he might be genderqueer. Just gotta drop one from my folks out there. Alright, and for a long time I thought it was a weakness, and it felt very vulnerable to share with anyone that I was having emotions. If someone asked me how I was doing, I was fine, I'm good, I'm fine, I'm good. How many times are we answering that with people? How are you doing today? Oh, I'm good, I'm fine. We're not actually even admitting to ourselves that we're having emotions. You are having emotions. Everyone's having emotions all the time, so it's okay. It's actually good practice to be like, yeah, I'm feeling sad today. We don't have to feel happy and great and all the time. That's such a fallacy. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to have these feelings and just to admit them to ourselves on a constant basis. Like, hey, I'm not feeling so great. It's okay. The second way to emotionally love yourself is to let yourself cry. If you feel moved to cry, do not block yourself from feeling that or expressing that or experiencing that. I don't care if you're in public. I don't care if it's going to be horribly embarrassing. I don't care where you are or who you're with. Like, let yourself cry. Blocking that, something is trying to be purged from your system. Something is trying to release. It's like this energy is coming up and out. And blocking it is so... it feels real bad. It doesn't feel great. So please let yourself have an emotional experience of crying. I, again, remember watching movies with my family at a very young age, and I am so sensitive. I cry every day now. I cry very often when I watch movie previews or, one of those classic crying commercial, although I don't watch commercials, so, I suppose just watching little things on social media, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be crying. So, that's me naturally, but I had to, work really hard to get to this place of being able to just cry. I also cry in public a lot. I'll really let myself cry and let people see me cry. Now, that is coming such a long ways because I used to be in a place where I didn't let myself cry. And unless I was alone. I let myself cry, and it was rare for me to even get in touch with my emotions to the point where I was letting myself cry alone. I mean, I was super emotionally disconnected from myself. A lot of times we don't really even know how we are feeling because we're so emotionally disconnected. Our emotions are down in the hallway, in a closet, or in the basement. We don't even know what we're feeling. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm feeling great, and they have no idea. In fact, if you're empathic and sensitive, you might know what someone else is feeling before they know what they're feeling. You might be sensing some anger for them and you're like, whoa. And you're like, are you angry? And they're like, no, I'm fine. If anyone ever says fine, know that they're not okay. Alright. So, I remember watching movies with my family, and something sad would happen, and here it comes, this upwelling of emotion, and instead of I would not let myself cry in front of my family. That would be like the worst thing, most vulnerable thing ever, so I stuffed it, and it would take a lot of effort to repress it because it was so strong, and I remember it would make my throat really hurt because the emotions coming up, and I would stop it right here, and I'd be like, get this burning sensation in my throat, and I would just be able to stop it every single time. Or it would come right to the eyes and I just wouldn't let it out. I would just control it and stop it to make sure that I wasn't showing any emotions around my family because it wasn't safe. And I don't remember actually I don't have any clear memories of when I decided that it wasn't safe to show my emotions around my family, but I definitely did not feel safe doing that, so it took me a long time to learn how to cry. Now I'm like an expert at crying. I love it. It feels good. Let yourself cry. Let other people cry. And also, if someone's crying, you don't need to go and do anything. Just let them cry. You don't need to go. If you want to give them a hug or show them that you care, you can. But maybe they don't want that. Maybe they just want someone there to witness it. You don't necessarily need to stop them from crying or stop them from having that experience. If someone's having... Oh, this is just... Okay, I'm just going to scoot over someone. Alright. If someone's having an emotional experience, and you're feeling uncomfortable, you don't need to try to stop them from having their emotional experience. Just let them cry. Maybe they don't want a hug. And you can hug them afterwards, and maybe that would be more appropriate. And always ask, hey, can I touch you? Can I give you a hug? Otherwise, just let them cry and just hold the space with them. Just be there in their tears with them. That's all, we really want as humans, just to be witnessed in our emotional experience. So, alright, number 3. This is getting more advanced. Now that I've ignored my spider's on my leg now. Oh, he's got a web going on the computer. Wow, that was fast. These little beans are just whippersnappers. Aww. Oh, so this video is a little bit meandering. This tree is making me drunk on love. Alright. So, number 3, I'm getting distracted. So once you're accepting that I'm having an emotional experience, the best thing we can do is to be really sweet to ourselves while we're having that emotional experience. So, and just be endlessly validating. Oh, you're sad? It's okay that you're sad, and I'm not going to abandon you while you're sad. I'm not going to abandon you while you're angry. I'm going to take care of you. Okay, you're sad. Is there anything that you need from me? I'm not going to just peace out once you're starting to have overwhelming emotional experience. I'm going to be there for you and take care of you while you're having that experience. So that would be developing emotional nurturing. This is advanced stuff. This is something that I am working on every single day because I wasn't in touch with my emotional body for most of my life. Emotions is a relatively new experience for me, and developing positive rapport with each one of my emotions is a challenge. Could be some emotions that you feel more comfortable in experiencing. Some people feel really comfortable experiencing anger, and then other people, that's pretty much the worst possible emotion they could feel, and so they're like, oh, I'm never angry. That's impossible. We're all also, there's all these colors of the rainbow. Let's explore every single emotion that there is. Don't cut yourself off from experiencing a particular emotion. That's selling yourself short. You want to have the full range of the human experience. Let yourself have, because what happens, especially with anger, and I talk about this and I'll keep talking about this, is because we've been harmed by anger in the past, maybe as children, and if you're sensitive, empathic, you might just, and female socialized, you're like, no, I'm not going to be angry. I'm not going to let myself go there because I've seen the harm that it does, and I've been hurt by it, and I don't want to hurt anybody else by it. But the thing is, you're cutting yourself off from a very important part of yourself. And anger can only harm someone else if you're denying it and repressing it inside of yourself. Once you fully accept and are fully okay, with consciousness that I'm angry, then you're not going to harm anybody with it, because you're going to take care of yourself while you're having that experience, and that means it doesn't need to come out sideways and try to hurt and burn somebody else. You can use it in a constructive manner. But if there's any part of you that doesn't feel okay with being angry, what will happen is that you repress it, because you're not okay with experiencing it, and then it will come out in an explosion. And in that explosion, you will abandon yourself and end up saying something or doing something that you regret. Have I done this in my life? So many times I can't even tell you. So please, 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 nurture your emotions and give yourself full permission to experience all of them. And then you can ask each one of your emotions, what do you need right now? What does my fear need right now? Or what does my vulnerability, insecurity, sadness need right now? Do you just need to lay down and be alone? Well, give that to yourself, Do you need to eat or drink something, like not in a self-destructive manner, but in a self-care manner? Then do that. Do you need to talk to a friend and get emotional support? Then allow yourself that. Just take care of yourself and nourish yourself while you're having that emotional experience. Great. Everyone's doing so good. Unicorns forever. Alright, 4. Now we're getting so advanced. So freaking advanced. 4. Communicating your emotions to other people. This is a great way to emotionally love yourself, is to actually share that you're having emotions with other humans that are also having emotions. So once we get to a place where we're really accepted deeply inside of ourselves that we are having an emotional experience and we're nourishing those emotions, and it can be the next step is really to start sharing our emotional experience with others. How are you doing? I'm actually in a lot of pain right now. I'm actually having a hard time. And I'm feeling kind of irritable. And I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling sad mad, or something like that. And in just communicating that, and I'm not necessarily needing anything from that other person. Maybe you are, but because you have given yourself the validation, you don't need anything from that other person when you're sharing your emotional experience. You're just literally sharing it for the sake of intimacy. It's very intimate to share our emotions because it's so unusual and not normal in our culture to share emotions. And to actually share and let yourself be seen having the emotions by letting someone see you cry, or letting someone see you like, oh, I'm so angry. But you're giving yourself full permission to feel it, so it's not coming out sideways and it's not scary and destructive. Or just like, oh my god, I'm really scared right now. So it's again, some people have been living from their heart from day one, and this is all just what they do every day, and it's easy peasy. And bless y'all for being here, all you heart-centered beings, angels that are teaching the rest of us how to do this. This is not something that comes natural to me. I'm more up in the energetic spiritual realms, dancing around like like this. So this emotional game. Oh my gosh, look at this. I'm still having to move here. This emotional game is a lot more difficult for me to wrap my head around, or to wrap my heart around. So communicating with other people can feel really scary, to really be honest with others that you're having an emotional experience. But the more you do it, the easier it becomes. And it's only been fairly recent for me that I've been really emotionally honest with the people in my life. So first we become emotionally honest with ourselves. We might be like, I'm feeling angry, but I'm not about to tell anybody how I'm feeling. Or I'm having a hard time, well, I'm not going to tell anybody that. And then we can start letting people in and be like, yeah, I am having a hard time. There's nothing wrong with having an experience, because we're all having it all the time. There's a lack of honesty and authenticity and connection to the experiences that we're having. So there's no need to feel shame or guilt about having emotions, but we've been programmed to, so it takes a while to delete all of that programming and practice being emotionally honest. That's emotional authenticity. And I promise you, you can't have personal relationships, intimate relationships that are sustainable and healthy without emotionally loving yourself and getting these 4 steps really down pat. It takes time, people, and everyone's doing such a wonderful job. I'm proud of you all for practicing this in your own life and loving yourselves up. The 5th way to emotionally love yourself is, a little bit kind of off the beaten trail here. It's not really going in order with the other 4, is to listen to music. I say that because it's my number 1 way of getting in touch with my emotional body. So if I want to really check in to see how I'm feeling, what kind of music do I want to turn on? Or the music that I turn on, how does it make me feel? It really helps me connect up with my emotional body. And so listening to music can really help us understand our emotions and just get us closer to being in and around our emotions all the time. Obviously, being in nature is really helpful with that too. But there's something about music that's super potent and powerful in that capacity. So try it. Some people are music lovers and they're constantly listening to music, and other people, that maybe that's not something that they've particularly been drawn to, but it might be something to worth checking out. I would add to that, if there's going to be certain things in your life that elicit emotions, that elicit you becoming more emotionally close to yourself. And if you can start keying in and identifying what are those things that help you become emotionally close to yourself, and then start bringing those things into your life and practicing them on a daily basis so that you can be close to your emotional experience. Again, some people, that's all you're doing. You're just having an emotional experience. This conversation will probably seem funny to you because you're like, hello, welcome to my life. This is all I do. All I do is feel and cry and talk about my feelings. I know. That's my life. Okay. Alright, I get that. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. But I think that we can all, at the very least, work on being kind to ourselves no matter what emotional experience that we're having. A lot of ourselves beat ourselves up, abandon ourselves, mean to ourselves if we're having a particular emotional experience. We're like, nope. Like, what? Why would you do that? You wouldn't do that to a child. If a child is screaming and crying and in pain, we're like, get over it. What are you doing? Why are you always crying? We would never say that to a child unless you're a psychopath. Right? Or if a child is getting really angry and starts hitting someone, we're not like, what the hell's wrong with this kid? We're like, hey, let's talk about anger management, which is a good conversation you might maybe have with yourself. And if we teach children at a young age, how to be with their anger, then we don't have to be having these conversations later on. But we really came from a generation, at least I did, of parents that weren't necessarily like showing us skills in terms of how to be emotionally in touch, emotionally nurturing, emotionally communicative. So this is all stuff that we have to learn now. So anyways, thank you for being in my tree with me and having this conversation and listening to my video on the spring equinox. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you all go out there and practice emotionally loving yourself, caring for your emotional body, and knowing that your emotion ocean and the human experience of being an emotional creature is one of the best things about having this human experience. It is amazing when you start getting into it and developing a loving, compassionate relationship to your emotional body. So, good luck, friends, and I will talk to you soon. Sebastian, signing out. Actually, before I sign out, I just want to say that there are other videos on my channel. Go ahead and check them out if you want to. Also, follow me on Instagram if you want to. All the information will be linked below. I do astrology readings, and I do spiritual guidance sessions. If you want some of that good stuff, set up a session with me. Don't hesitate. Don't be afraid. It will be good. I'll be nice, I promise. Alright, love you. Mwah. Bye.